Hey guys, welcome to Sassy Southern Home. I am Christine. If you're new here or if you haven't subscribed already, please smash that subscribe button. It helps me a lot, and big thumbs up, likes are always great. This afternoon's been a little bit difficult. I've watched on the news about the tornadoes in the southeast. Of course, I'm in the southeast, but thank goodness we haven't had that bad of weather in South Carolina. But I pray for the families in Mississippi, especially that one little town that basically has been wiped out. And also about the latest school shooting of the elementary school there in Nashville, Tennessee. I just can't imagine letting your little one go in the morning thinking everything's good and waiting to hear what they've got going on in the day and their homework and all, and then something like that's tragic. Guys, I just don't understand what gets into people, but prayers, please, for these families and their family members. Just let's do some kindness. We all need some kindness. And I've got a quote up this week, and it's at the perfect time, but do at least one random act of kindness this week. That can be a pay it forward thing or whatever, but let's just be kind to each other. We all need that, especially in this day and time. But I hope you like this week. It's a little bit different. It's some hacks, and so the projects are going to be a little bit different. But I hope you like it. Let me know. And let me know what else you might want to see in the future. I am thinking about maybe doing some child-friendly crafts every once in a while. Something maybe you can get your children, your grandchildren, or nieces, nephews, whatever have you, to get involved too, because I just believe crafting should start at an early age. But anyhow, thank you guys. And remember, subscribe, and as always, let's get crafting. First up is a tiered tray, and I found this little vase at Goodwill, and it was like a teal blue and a white, so I just painted it 2 coats of my chalk paint, white. And then this little plate I found at Hobby Lobby, and it's on the smaller size, but I already have some bigger trays, so I wanted a smaller one. And I do use the melamine plates, that way if it falls it doesn't shatter. So I'm using a combination of E6000 and hot glue. Now your hot glue is for the quick hold, but your E6000 will bond it. Don't mix the two. I've heard that if the hot glue touches the E6000 it'll break it down, so just don't touch the two. And then I'm just going to flip the plate over, eyeball my center. Of course, you can measure it, but I just kind of eyeball it, place that down, hold it down for a little bit. That hot glue is going to grab pretty quick. And then this is an easy project to do. And then it just helps you style things so that your visual interest in a room is moved to different heights. You don't want everything in your room different height. And I just styled it with some little glass jars I've had for a while on it. But I think this is so pretty, so spring appropriate, and so easy. Our next little hack, I think I got these pillows. There's a set of 2. I've only done one of them with the pom-poms, but I'll probably go back and do the other. But these little pom-poms are the Easter ones, and I used them in a Easter video as the little tail for Buddy Rabbit. Okay, I'm not sure why. I've had these pillows for a while. I'm not sure why I haven't cut the tags off until now. I don't know. When I was little, I used to think they put you in jail because it had that warning on there. I know I'm not the only one that thought that. I was like, warning, don't remove the tag, so I wouldn't remove it. Anyhow, so all I'm going to do is simple. Now, I did pick out one of my doll needles, that DOLL. They're large needles, and one so I could actually see to thread it without my glasses. But I just ran it a couple of times up in the middle of the pom-pom, and then find your very, very corner and do a couple stitches just to hold it in. Now, a couple stitches, I went all the way through the pom-pom, and then lots of stitches I just did around the bottom edge. So I'm not going to tell you guys how to sew, but this is just going to add just a little pop to your pillows, because pom-poms on pillows now are your comforters, I mean your throws, not your comforters, but your throws and all are very popular. So this is an easy hack. And like I said, I didn't even make these pom-poms. I do have pom-pom makers, but I didn't make these. These were the Easter ones. So you can still find them at your Dollar Tree if you're interested in this project. And of course, it was a pack of, I still have a bunch of them left. I don't know how many came in the pack, but it was a bunch of them. So I definitely have enough to do the other pillow. I really like this, so I need to go back and do the other pillow. But this just makes your pillow look a little bit more high-end, and it's a very popular little thing now. Of course, if you ever get tired of the pom-pom, it's not really sewn into there, so you can just snip it off. So there we go. And then see, I'm going to show you a little pom-pom. Forget about my finger up at the top of the lens. I don't know what's going on there. But that does look so cute. Okay, this little bowl and lid I got from IKEA. My IKEA is over an hour away, so I've only been once, and I fell in love. It's probably a good thing I don't have one very local. I'd be there all the time. I'm just going to use my little, I think they call it a spoolie to get the label off, and these labels are very good at IKEA. They're not like a paper. There's some kind of different material, and they pulled it pretty well. So I didn't have to soak it or anything. Just use my little spoolie and pulled on it. Now, I love Yankee Candle candles. They smell good. They burn good. I love them. But everybody knows the little Yankee Candle jars. I mean, it's not like they're not attractive, but you got that little label on there. So we're just going to elevate our candles. So I do have wicks because I have made my own candles before in the past, but you can buy a pack of wicks at Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, whatever. And I did use the longer ones. Now, if you're using a deeper container for your wax, then you would have to do the little technique where you put the pencils or the bamboo skewers and secure it. But I hot glued them to the bottom. Here's my Yankee Candle jar. Now, I've seen people actually boil the whole jar, let all the wax melt. I didn't have any way of getting that out of my pot. So what I did was get it to where I kept touching the top, and when the top was real soft, then I took it out because it wasn't too hot then to handle with my hands. You can see it here, my water steam's coming up out of my pot, so it's very hot. And there is some liquid in the bottom, but it's not completely melted. So I'm just going to pick that up out of the pot. I did with my hands because the top wasn't that hot. And then I just took a butter knife, and this little bowl I have is a bowl I use for craft projects. So it's not a bowl I'm going to eat out of. So I'm just going to take, you see me here digging in. It's really soft. I'm just going to dig out enough and put it in that bowl to what I think will fill up my little candle holder, my jar, my little container pretty good. So I'm just going to dip chunks into my bowl. Then I put it in the microwave and let it finish melting. And I ended up doing right at 3 minutes. So I would do like 30-second intervals, check it, take something and stir it. And I actually used this knife to stir it with until all but just the teeny little pieces were melted. Then when the wax is good and hot and melted, I'm going to pour it into my container. And again, I did not have to use the bamboo skewers to hold my wicks up because my jar is not very deep. So just keep that in mind. If you're using something deep, you might need to like curl it around the bamboo skewers and then tape those down to the top or something so that your wicks don't move, but mine didn't move. So here we are all melted, and simply going to take my little container and pour the wax in. You will have some cleaning up to do around the sides, but that cleans up I just took my nail actually and scraped around the sides and cleaned it up so that it looks a little more custom, like I bought it like this. But when you see it finished, it is so elevated from having just the Yankee Candle jars that everybody's going to recognize the Yankee Candle jars. And this is so pretty. It's pretty lit, and it's pretty with just the wood top on it. It's pretty either way. Here is the finished project. And of course, cut your wicks down. I hadn't cut my wicks down yet. Cut your wicks down. And here we are burning. And then I'll show you it styled on the little tray that we made. And that's so much prettier. And here it is with just the top on it. See, it's still pretty. It's not a Yankee Candle jar. You can use a Yankee Candle jars over. So, all right, our next hack is easy peasy. Well, till we get to the cover. Anyhow, to add height to anything you want to style. My husband has a bunch of old books. He doesn't read them. He just likes them, but they are nice to have out. So I haven't covered mine, but so here I just have some jute twine wrapped around them. And you can put your artificial plant containers on top, whatever. Here I go. I know we did this all the time when we were in school because we didn't have these fancy book covers. I don't know if my paper was too thick. It was more like a scrapbook paper, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. So y'all don't follow my instructions here. You might can use some typing paper or something other that gives a little bit more. I kind of just marked where the binder was at, cut that so my book would bend, and then I'm simply just going to take some Scotch tape and tape down the edge. I didn't worry that the paper wasn't big enough to cover the back because you're going to position it where you're seeing the side of it anyhow, so it didn't really need to cover the whole book. But if you want to cover yours, and like I said, I don't cover mine. I just leave them out. But I know some people like the farmhouse look, so they want all the books white or whatever, but I like them just the way they are. They're interesting to have the old covers, and then you got your rips in them and the tears in them. To me, that's just something a little bit more visually interesting to look at. So here I am struggling, basically. It wasn't pretty. Like I said, I know we always made book covers in school. Maybe I was smarter back then. I don't know. I don't know what I was doing. And I kept thinking, this has got to be easier. Surely I didn't do all this in school. I don't know. But anyhow, I'm just going to show you the 3 books with the covers on them and the jute twine. And if you had a pretty handwriting, or if you wanted to stencil the binder side of it, that would be pretty. I don't have a pretty handwriting. And like I said, I'm not going to use these covers anyhow. I'm just simply showing you as an option. But you could certainly stencil some words on them. Love, home, kindness, kind, whatever, you know. But I have them out just like they are. I think they're pretty. And here we are styled with the covers. And that is pretty. It's just, I like the natural. Anyhow. Okay, did you know you can reuse your containers from your Glade, Airwick, maybe your Yankee Candle. I can't remember. I used to buy those all the time, but I don't buy those anymore. So anyhow, I'm kind of struggling here, but you can pull the wick out. Just don't damage the edge. It has like a plastic edge around it, so don't damage that because you need that to hold it firm to get it up in the little hole in your plug-in. But I love plug-ins, but here's a simple little hack. If you're out, you can't go get any or whatever. So pull out that wick. Here I am just choosing out of my essential oils what scent I wanted. And I ended up with bergamot because it is used in a bunch of perfumes and colognes. So I knew I liked that scent. It's like a big note in a lot of good fragrances. So I put about 25 to 30 drops in there and then filled it up with water and then simply reassemble it, plug it in. Now, if you want it to smell stronger, of course, you're going to have to put more oil in there. But I'm telling you, this works. And if you're in a pinch or if you're just tired paying the prices for these refills, have gotten
ridiculously expensive. So if you're tired of paying the prices, this is a good thing to have to save you some money. And then I got to looking at the top, and I guess the oil, it pulls it out anyhow, so I'm using a wipe to clean it up. But it does work. It is in my bathroom. I can smell it when I come in here. And here it is finished. Thank you guys.